And tonight you'll hear from a family not living in the woods and not out of a job, but just trying to survive. And through this process, a mother reveals a disturbing look at her emergency housing unit inside the Steve O'Neill apartments in Duluth, a space that looks nothing like it was designed to be. For 33-year-old Amanda Johnson, a single mother of 3, life may look just like yours. But this family is actually homeless.
There's so many people who are one paycheck away from where we are.
Johnson works full-time, making $11.75 an hour at a fast food restaurant.
I've always had a job. I've always worked. I've always been somebody who's going to work as much as I can because I have people that I have to take care of.
But she says rent prices in Duluth, especially with a deposit, are too high for her to afford right now, which is why her family has been living in this 1970s camper to save up. At least that was the plan before, she says, Child Protective Services forced her out because of heating concerns in the winter.
Well, I mean, that was our safe place, and we were comfortable and, you know, alone and happy and fine. And we were dealing and
Luckily, Johnson got connected with people at the Chum Drop-In Center in Duluth who helped move them into an emergency shelter unit at the Steve O'Neill apartments on the 100 block of West 4th Street.
It's a temporary thing, and it's not meant to be forever, but it's meant to, you know, help you get to where you need to go.
The $12.8 million apartment building was named after the late St. Louis County Commissioner Steve O'Neill, who was a champion for the homeless. The apartments, furnished with donations, opened in early 2015 with a focus of helping children and their families find safe shelter and overcome traumas associated with homelessness. But take a look at these pictures Johnson provided of the emergency family shelter unit she was placed in there.
It's sticky, it's gross, it smelled awful. It smelled like curdled dairy, like milk or something awful.
The walls, the mattress.
It was terrible. It was really, really awful.
The couch, the stove.
Everything was filthy.
And then this shattered window.
I feel more homeless in the shelter than I did in my camper. In my camper, everything was neat, it was in its place, it was clean, it was sanitary. Johnson said she made building personnel aware of the room, but 3 weeks later, the window's still broken, and whatever was clean, she says, was mostly done by her. I honestly was a little shocked.
Meanwhile, after posting on Facebook trying to find any type of permanent housing for the winter, Johnson was contacted by a random stranger named Mike Peterson of Renshaw.
When I seen that post, it just tore at my heartstrings, and I said, I have to do it. I've never done this before, but I have to do something.
Peterson has adopted the family for the holiday season and says he's doing everything he can right now to get a stable roof over this family's head before Christmas, all while spreading the word and collecting donations for them.
It's been amazing, and it's my faith in humanity has went way up since this, way up.
He's getting us like beds and, you know, just all of the household things that we need taken care of, and it's just, he's a really good guy. So it's been good.
It's one face of homelessness, struggling with income, and even finding long-term shelter. But Johnson says she's grateful and hopeful for a better life ahead.
We're coming from a place where we've been very stigmatized being homeless, and now so many people want to help us, and that's because of Mike.
What I've also found too is the people that have very little are the ones that give me the most, and it's just that's just amazing.
Meanwhile, tonight, officials with the Chum Drop-In Center who helped manage the Steve O'Neill apartments are responding to this story, saying there was clearly a procedural breakdown by the staff.
Well, my first reaction was thank you for sending them to me, because I don't want that kind of condition in Chum Shelter. And then my next was to get my team on it right away.
Chum Executive Director there, Lee Stewart, tells us early this morning your team removed that couch, fixed the broken window, and a new paint job is on the way, among other fixes. Stewart says the 6 emergency units are used pretty hard, but she says that's no excuse, and a better checklist and maintenance plan are underway.
What do you need to do to bring this unit back to the standard that we want it to be? And we would want that to be the same we would want for ourselves. Overall, we've done a really good job, and sometimes we make a mistake, and when we do, we fix it.
There you go. Chum has helped the family in our story with gas money, getting one of their dogs neutered, and even providing the first month's rent and deposit when permanent housing can be located for them. The mother, Amanda Johnson, stressed she is very thankful for all of that support.